disrupting a government facility.
So you're going to tell me, as an autistic person, I'm going to be disrupted for being in a public place, simply talking, asking to speak with your chief because you're refusing to enforce the law when it comes to my parenting plan, and you're refusing to uphold the custodial interference felony charge.
Then we've asked you to leave. Okay.
This is a public building. I do not have any reason to leave. You have no lawful authority to ask me to leave.
Those are the options. So you can talk to Officer Robinson outside about your complaint.
You're the sergeant here. You have the highest authority. I mean, look at this. 4 officers to talk to one autistic person because he's a little Tony, because he can't control his tone, because he's frustrated, because of the fact that you guys aren't doing your jobs.
Dylan, I will grab my computer. We can go over your cases together. I would like to do that. Please don't put me in a situation where we have to make that arrest. I would like to.
You already put yourselves in this situation. This is going to go up online. Look at this. 4 officers because you guys don't want to do your job. I came here to report a crime. Custodial interference in the 1st degree. A Class C felony because my ex has not been following her parenting plan. What are you guys doing?
Dylan, I'm willing to
We're
take
not
that
going to
report
do
from you
it.
today.
Take it up in court. I've tried that. Take it up to the prosecutor. I've tried that. Obviously, your prosecutors declined. Obviously, the courts keep telling me to come here. You guys keep playing the same roundhouse games. You guys have all the legal authority to go down there, arrest her, and get me time with my son. Are you guys going to do that?
I'm willing to listen. I have not heard what your report is today, okay? All our conversations
Okay,
in the past
you know
have been
what my
extremely
report is,
cordial.
Officer Robinson.
I don't know
My
what it is
parenting
today.
plan says I am supposed to have my son today. Today is Thursday. It is between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Look at the clock right over there. Okay? What does my parenting plan say?
I don't have your parenting plan in front of me right now.
It's
What I
supposed to
can
be,
say
my
is
son is supposed to be in my care right now, right?
I took
Is my
your
son
last
here?
report
Obviously,
and I sent
I'm
it to the
here to
prosecutor.
report the fact that my son's not here. Obviously, you guys know I haven't seen my son since May 4th. Almost a year. With how many parenting plans and visitation schedules? RCW 9A40060 paragraph 2 states that if there is a court order giving the parent time with residential provisions entered in, and another parent violates that with intent to keep the child away from the other parent, which is exactly what's going on under Section 2, guess what? It's a Class C felony. Your prosecutor said he's refusing. I saw the email sent to Sergeant Martinez and your guys' entire department. A prosecutor failing to file for a felony charge, allowing a mother to commit the act of custodial interference, not to mention her knowing full well I'm autistic, knowing full well that keeping my son from me causes me to be like this. You're allowing her to commit the act of abuse of a vulnerable adult.
Can I speak now? I let you speak there for several minutes. Can I speak? I'm speaking.
What is being done?
I'm speaking very calmly with you.
What is being done about the situation?
Are you going to let me talk? Are you going to let me talk?
I'm tired of excuses. I would like an actual explanation.
Because again, if you can show my sergeant we're willing to have a conversation.
This is not giving me the explanation I'm asking for or the answer I'm asking for, is
Because
it?
you just interrupt me for the 5th time. Now, if you can show my sergeant that you can have a civil conversation with me, he may be willing to give us some more time to talk. Now, if you continue to interrupt me as I'm speaking calmly to you and trying to listen to you, that might change. That's all I'm trying to say to you.
Cop-splaining is not really helping the situation. I have asked you plenty of times what
Okay,
is
I'm
being
going
done
to tell
about
you
the
right now.
situation,
You
and
listen.
all you keep answering is on how I need to talk calmly. What does that do about the goddamn situation?
I've tried to explain. So, listen. Yes, we've sent everything to the prosecutor, okay? They said they're going to decline. You are not being singled out in this situation. It is common practice with these sort of situations, with not only you, with everyone else, okay?
Really?
This-
So why are you guys as
Dylan,
officers?
this is the
I'm not.
problem.
Hang on.
This
No,
is-
no,
this is
hang
the
on.
problem.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off because you said I'm not being singled out. But yet, half of your guys' department sat there and said, if I keep my son like she's doing to me, I would be arrested.
What?
Yeah. If
is-
I do the same thing she's doing to me right now, I would be arrested according to all your guys' officers.
Dylan, let me ask you this.
She can drive by my apartment. I've got an order against her saying no defamation. She sat there defaming me.
Dylan.
Your guys' officers declined to charge.
Problem. I'm trying to
Your
ask you a question.
prosecutor declined to charge.
This is the problem. I'm trying to ask you a question relating to what you're talking about. Have you ever been charged with custodial interference? Have you ever been charged with that specific crime?
No, because I've not actually kept my kid like she's doing.
Okay.
But I said if I did what she's doing, and I've used the if term, what if I did what she's doing? Your guys' officers have said plenty of times, then you will be arrested. You yourself have said it, Officer Robinson.
Because there's a court order between you two.
There's also a court order against her. There's also a parenting plan.
Okay.
All signed
I
in
was just
same day.
trying to
So
explain the
what
parenting
overrides what? What trumps what? If the parenting plan is actually overrides the RO. Did you know that?
The RO, what are you talking about?
The restraining order? Parenting plans override restraining orders when it comes to having the kids involved.
And I just explained about how the police department handles those.
So you have a woman committing a felony and a gross misdemeanor at the same time for over a year, and nothing has been done. You have me coming in here, calling, filing reports, going to court constantly for 2 fucking years. What has been done? Have I still gotten a chance to see my son?
I don't know.
Is my son here?
If you want to make a formal complaint,
I've attempted to. What has been done about those formal complaints? What about Officer Ocampo? What about the formal complaint against him? What is being done about his lack of investigation and his violation of my 14th Amendment? What about Officer McClowery? What has been done about him? What about Officer Ely? What's been done about him? What about Officer Pash? What's been done about him? What about Sergeant Martinez? What's been done about him? How many formal complaints have I actually done? Nothing's actually been done against any of those officers. So you want to talk to me about doing a formal complaint? I've tried. Nothing's been done. It doesn't do shit. Your guys' department is shit. You guys obviously don't enforce the fucking law.
if you want to talk respectfully, we'll talk on the phone or outside, but not in the building anymore.
Cool. Let's walk outside. Let's go. I've tried so many times to talk to you. I will take you up on that offer, by the way. If you're still offering one.
Take one for later, too. You got a lighter?
I do not have a lighter. I just
Oh, I'll smoke one with the other.
appreciate it.
You have to remember they don't care about the law.
Oh no, I'm well aware. Thank you.
And demeanor is everything, right? Because they can easily just arrest you
Do you
for
want to keep
disorderly
talking to them, or
conduct.
do you want me to leave you?
No, I want to keep talking. Because I'm still wondering what's being done about the fact of me not getting to see my son, even though there's been plenty of court orders.
They're not going to let you talk when you're in jail, so don't let them do that.
They can't put me in jail.
They could do whatever they want.
Oh, they can try, but they know for a fact they'd sue. And also, there's the thing about Bad Elk versus United States, which states any unlawful arrest can be met with equal force back. So if the moment these guys try to even go hands-on, I can go right back to hands-on. The more force they use against me, the more force I can use against them. Isn't that right, Officer Robinson?
I'm about to put hands on you right
No,
now.
not you. But several of your past officers? Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm telling you.
Several of your past, including Officer Shaddy.
That's why I'm telling you to stay inside right now. Okay? Because this is what I wanted the whole time to do. Okay?
So what's being done about my son? What is being done to ensure that the order is enforced?
Dylan, you keep asking me questions, then you don't let me answer.
Because you've yet to actually answer them.
Okay.
Telling me that it's being sent to the prosecutor is not saying that you guys are doing anything.
Right, I'm trying to explain to you how police practice works in this department with this sort of situation.
So if someone robs a bank, are you going to sit there and wait for the prosecutor to say we're charging before you go track the person down and arrest them?
No, because that's
If I turned around and pulled a gun out and shot someone, are you going to wait for the prosecutor to say you're going to wait for them to charge me before you come track me down and find me? So you have to wait for the prosecutor's approval to do your job. Is that what you're saying, officer?
That is not what I'm saying at
So
all.
why aren't you doing your job?
Because I just explained to you with the crime of custodial interference, okay? We've charged it. We've asked the prosecutor if we can.
Class C it's a Class C felony. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. It's an instant up to 2 year jail time with up to $20,000 in fines.
Okay.
So if it's an instant Class C state jail felony, something immediately arrestable, and you guys are saying you're sending it to the prosecutor, why?
So
It's not a prosecutor crime, is it? It's a felony. It's a jail time crime.
Dylan.
Are you guys going to arrest her or not?
Did you know that jail time requires a prosecutor to actually charge that? I cannot put someone in jail and then they're just held there without prosecutors.
You can do what's called an investigatory hold. It's a 3-day minimum hold for the prosecutor then to decide whether or not he wants to charge her. At that point, the prosecutor, if he does not charge her, you guys are liable to release her. You guys still have a duty to perform. It is still a Class C felony. It is still punishable by jail time. You guys have clearly refused to do your job, which puts it under official misconduct, which actually makes you currently guilty of committing a misdemeanor.
Okay, Dylan.
So unless you want to turn in your
I can tell
badge
you-
and gun
no,
to
I
your
can tell you
supervisor right
I
now,
can tell you right now,
please do your job.
this officer and this officer have referred felonies in the past. I'm sorry if you believe every single felony results in arrest. That is not the way it works in Washington State. It is all dependent on officer discretion. It's dependent on what the jail will accept.
Not for a
And
felony.
it's-
Not for a felony.
Yes, it is. I'm telling you right now, I've referred many
Cool.
felonies.
So if I go over to pick up my son, because my son is not a protected party, the courts have said that multiple times. Let's see, there was the 14th of September that they said it. There was the 25th of January, the same day my parenting plan was signed in, that they said it. Only most recently, as of 2 weeks ago, did they say my son is only a protected party because his name's on the order. But at the same time, they said my son's name is only on the order because he has to be due to legislation until the dust settles. But it does not make him a protected party just because his name's on the order. Obviously, if he was a protected party, there wouldn't be a parenting plan. Obviously, if he was a protected party, I'd have my rights signed away. Right?
I agree with that part of the parenting plan. What I'm saying is
So I still have full and equal rights to time with my child. I still have full access to my child. I have my 14th Amendment right to time with my
Are
child.
you familiar with RCW 1031-100?
No, I'm not.
You should review it. Okay? It is the
Cite it to me.
It is the RCW that defines what crimes result in a mandatory law enforcement arrest. I can tell you right now, if you go into the RCW, which again, yes, that law is binding to me. That means if I have evidence of that crime, I have to make the arrest. Custodial interference is not listed on
You
that
do
crime
know official
affidavit.
conduct also puts you in a position where you're supposed to make the arrest too, right? Because otherwise you're committing a misdemeanor. Because it says any officer who refuses to do their job when law says they're supposed to is guilty of a misdemeanor.
This department has referred her for child or custodial interference many times, and I would.
And your prosecutors declined the charge, which still puts it under
then
your
how-
guys' purview to uphold the law, because it's not the prosecutor's job to
What would
uphold the
you
law,
suggest
it's
then?
law enforcement's job to
I'm
uphold the
actually
law.
Curious, and I'm gonna let you talk for a second. What would you suggest the police do if the person who's responsible for actually seeing these crimes through is not willing to take your case? What would you suggest?
Well, considering the fact that the prosecutor is not willing to properly do his job, considering the fact that he is attempting to charge me for supposedly contacting her in violation of her RO when her RO did not prevent contact, and the courts clarified that multiple times, that would be a violation of my 14th Amendment right to equal protection under the process of the law. So, obviously, as a law enforcement officer sworn to uphold the law, you have the duty to make sure all my civil rights are upheld, including my 14th Amendment, which also guarantees not just equality under the protection of the laws, it also guarantees that I get to spend time with my child, because the 14th Amendment also grants those protections. So, you being a law enforcement officer, you should probably do your job and cite the prosecutor and have his info sent to a different county's prosecutor, who can then perform the investigation on the current prosecutor as you're supposed to. Because obviously, if someone within this jurisdiction is not willing to do their job properly, it's supposed to be taken to the next jurisdiction who will, and which would either be Snohomish or Whatcom in this case.
Dylan, did you get put in jail when you were charged with that violation of the order?
No, I wasn't. But here's the thing. I was actually placed in jail 4 years ago for a supposed violation of an order. No, it's the same fucking situation. It's the same fucking shit. I got placed in jail for supposed third-party contact. That's no different than what's going on now. I was held for 24 hours. I was humiliated. I was abused. I was assaulted. I was ripped out of my apartment by Officer Ely. What was done to him? He violated my Fourth Amendment, breaking into my apartment, assaulting me without a warrant? Hello? What was done to that officer? Obviously nothing, right? Then I had the charge held over my head for 2 years before it was dropped due to lack of evidence. What was done?
Dylan, I can't speak to stuff.
So I was arrested for what crime?
I would have to look at your case. I wasn't working.
There was no crime. That's the thing. So I was arrested and held for 24 hours for no crime.
Okay.
Obviously, if you guys can do that to me, you can do it to her.
Dylan,
Even though there is a crime right now, right?
we've submitted those charges numerous times, okay? So at this point, I would like to hear what's going on today, and if you're not willing to speak about
What's
that,
going
then
on
we're not
today?
gonna-
I've already said it multiple times. Are you deaf? My son is not here. There's a parenting plan saying I'm supposed to have my son right now. What's being done to ensure that happens? Have you guys even tried contacting her?
I haven't tried contacting her.
Here's the thing. Any attorney will tell you this. Contact any attorney. 4 things are all you need. There's a parenting plan, okay? Child is under age of 18. Order says I'm supposed to have my son right now, right? And she's not willing to follow it. Guess what? Those 4 questions are all you need. All 4 yeses.
Okay.
That enough establishes custodial interference in the first degree.
I don't think our conversation's productive, okay? I'm gonna go back inside. You are free to be here. You're right, it is a public place. However, if your behavior results in our building having to close down its normal...
What behavior?
You screaming
Me
at the
talking?
counter.
Me talking like this?
No, I literally told you...
This
at the
is
beginning of
exactly how I was
conversation.
talking.
I said,
This is exactly how I was talking. You can't trespass me from a public place. Good try, though.
You can.
No, you cannot. You have no lawful authority to trespass me from government
Dylan, you
property.
seem well-versed
You have
in
no
things.
lawful authority to trespass me from government property.
So, Dylan, there's plenty of case laws. When you start to disrupt a government facility,
I'm not
like,
disrupting.
they had
You
to
are
shut
refusing.
down- Listen to me. They had to shut
Because
down
I asked for the
records
chief.
No, because of your vulgar language. You're yelling at them. All kinds of things. You're just
Payne versus Pauley, Beck versus Upland,
This-
Johnson versus
you
Campbell.
should probably
Language and
read it.
tone
If
are
you're
not
being
in itself
disruptive,
is
then
not
you can
considered
be
disruptive
Listen
or
to what I'm
disorderly.
saying. You disorderly.
It is not considered disruptive or
disorderly.
disorderly. 3 different case laws. Do you want to try to cite me again, or do you want to try to trespass me for bogus shit again?
So, no longer permitted, invited, licensed, overlodged, privileged to enter upon this place. Sergeant
Cool.
Sergeant Cohen's asking that
Cool,
you be
try me.
trespass for today.
Nope, not happening.
Go in and you'll be arrested for criminal trespass.
And if you try to touch me or try to arrest me for criminal trespass, it'll be your ass on the line because you have no authority to trespass me.
I told you.
Try me.
I told you.
Try me.
You're warned.
We'll arrest you.
For what?
They don't care about the law.
Exactly. They're not following the law, so what can they arrest me for when they're the ones not following it?
How can you argue your case when you're in jail?
Easy, it's called a civil lawsuit.
How long?
It's called a Section 1983.
If you can't get a criminal lawsuit, how the hell are you going to get a civil lawsuit?
Oh, trust me. There will be ways. And obviously, if it was a crime, I would be arrested just for being right here because this is still on property, dumbasses. Yeah, see, they're walking away because they know they can't do shit.
They don't care about the law.